So we got some actually bad news because it's happening in many different states. Lawmakers have confirmed that cuts to Social Security and Medicare may actually become official in just a few months. This can mean some huge benefit changes for the millions of seniors and retirees that are facing some problems in America. Now, as I was saying, stimulus checks are definitely deemed necessary by the government, and I believe that there's no reason why a third stimulus, a fourth stimulus, and even a fifth stimulus shouldn't be sent out. Actually, we need to see stimulus checks happen sooner than expected. Because, first of all, Kevin McCarthy is officially the speaker, and after an election process, well, it could be some bad news and good news for retirees. First of all, the good news is that because of these type of concessions, McCarthy had to make security his seat. Reporting over the past few days that he strongly suggests that those concessions are related to entitlement programs like Medicare, Social Security, which Republicans have been against for decades. So according to the Business Insider reports, to win over the holdouts in the House Freedom Caucus, McCarthy struck a series of concessions that include opening debate on spending bills and vowing not to raise the debt limit without major cuts to the likes of Social Security and Medicare. So it's become very clear as the week has advanced that CNN has reported that the GOP leaders gave a presentation to Republican House members just to outline their budget and spending priorities. Other lawmakers have discussed that the spending priorities were vague, but mentioned reforms to a mandatory spending program. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of a mandatory spending program because it will just help more and more people out and get people to where they need to be in life. And what I mean by this is that according to CNN, if healthcare providers get less money through Medicare, they won't be able to hire as many nurses, doctors, and other staff. So as funding necessary is equipment for these services, it affects the quality of care that patients are able to get and even impacts how many Medicare patients a healthcare provider can take on. First of all, Democrats have already expressed relief when they maintain control of the Senate by a slim hair and one more House seats than projected at the midterms. But it looks more and more like the House Republicans are already strong-arming the policy direction of the renewed majority. For instance, the policy experts told Insider that there's a reason to fear for the fate of major programs that help seniors in the U.S. A McCarthy eventual election was delaying the House Freedom Caucus, a nearly 50-strong group of far-right Republicans who are set against what they consider spending in the government, that is, and there is an agenda that isn't explicit about what it means for Social Security and healthcare plans. Some people have pointed out the Republican Study Committee and 2023 plan shows that these programs are on the chopping block. For instance, Republicans propose converting Medicaid and Affordable Care Act subsidies to block the grants. That just means less stimulus money going out over the next coming days and next coming weeks. That's pretty much what it means for now. But not only that, the financial pressure has forced millions of people to dip into their savings just to make ends meet. And the situation has been especially hard for the retired people on Social Security. According to a survey, Social Security people are facing some pretty high prices, and inflation causes many to lose value over time. So let's not forget about that. Because, for instance, $100 will buy fewer goods and services than it did 5 years ago. And it'll buy much less than it did decades ago. In other words, the cost of living just continues to get higher and higher every single day. It seems like people can't catch a break except for the wealthy. And the wealthy are very privileged, and that means the 5.9% COLA won't even apply to them. It applies to Social Security benefits that need almost 3-4 percentage points to completely offset the impact of inflation. 3 exact refunds. Now, what I mean by this is that year to date, the average benefit paid to retired workers was around $1,700, and this all happened in last year of January. But if the COLA had been 8.8%, well, the average benefit would have been $1,700. The average means the retired worker should have received an extra $45 in monthly income from Social Security, meaning the shortfall was $540 for every single year. I do like the sound of people getting stimulus checks, and I would not be against it, that's for sure.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris has literally brought about things that have changed the lives of all Americans. And when I say all, that includes those of us that have been left out. I bring you the president that on the critical issues have had our best, our backs and our best, President Joe Biden.
Make sure this is on. Is this on? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, no ho. Okay. Rev, thank you very much for that introduction. And, and quite frankly, thank you for your partnership. You've been a good friend for a long time. It's an honor to spend King Holiday with the National Action Network and with the King family, Martin and family. And I understand, there's Martin III, we celebrate a legacy of your beloved father and mother. They worked for the beloved community, but congratulations today, the honorees, including your wife, who I understand is his birthday today? Well, look, my wife has a rule in her family. When somebody's birthday, you sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you. Well, it's hell turning 30, but you got to put up with it. And Nancy Pelosi, who I think is literally, not figuratively, the greatest leader, House Speaker, and
quarters of a percentage point following a similarly aggressive rate hike in June, even as Jerome Powell acknowledged that the Federal Reserve sees previous hikes, as already weighing on housing, business investment, and consumer demand. Speaking at a news conference, Powell said he believes the economy is not in a recession, but the paths to avoiding one are narrower than just a few months ago. He added that, with inflation remaining at 40-year highs and June prices coming in especially hot, Powell emphasized that controlling inflation is the Fed's chief priority, even if it brings down a slowdown in the job market for now. Inflation has plagued policymakers for months, becoming the economy's biggest problem and weighing on families nationwide, but especially the most vulnerable lower-income families. Higher prices for milk, gas, and clothing have soured people's sense of how the economy is working for them, dampening consumer sentiment and influencing families to change their own spending behavior. Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer have confirmed a new bill will be signed into law. Lawmakers have finally reached an agreement on the new social spending plan. Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin have announced that there's going to be a deal on an energy and healthcare bill. This represents a breakthrough after more than a year of negotiations that have collapsed time again, but it will face some furious GOP opposition. The deal is a major reversal for Manchin, and the health and climate bill stands a serious chance of becoming law as soon as August, although this is only if Democrats can pass the bill. In the House of Representatives, it also needs approval from the Senate parliamentarian to allow it to be approved, along party lines in the budget process. While Manchin scuttled President Biden's Build Back Better bill, the final deal includes a number of provisions the moderate from West Virginia had formerly criticized. This is representing a significant reversal from earlier this month. This includes provisions addressing the climate crisis. The agreement contains a